Hello everyone, back here at Liza P, and today I want to show you what I think is the best early game balance build. So what I mean by balance build, for those that might not know, is that in your stats for your motivity and your technique, a balanced build is usually, those are like your strength and your dexterity in other games, is basically what they equate to, is you would have them near or the same amount. So as you can see, for me, my motivity and technique are both 30. And then if I show you on a weapon, your weapons scale differently. Each weapon scales differently. But see the motivity, if it goes A to D or A to E, I think is the complete scale. But the A would be the best scaling, so the weapon would do more damage, and so upgrade. So for instance, here with the police baton, my motivity, if I upgrade that, that would do more damage than if I upgraded my technique. And so a balanced build, you would want a weapon like I have here that has both a C rank and in both motivity and technique. Um, Now there is ways to influence the rank of the motivity and technique and advanced scaling on your weapons, but that's a whole different situation. And that comes more available in later chapters. But again, I'm focusing on early game. So I think this is the strongest weapon you can get, and if you're doing a balanced build. So what I mean by early is we're talking about chapter 3. If you follow along with my video guides on the game, we finished chapter 3 the other day, and we haven't moved on to chapter 4. And the chapters, as I'm speaking, is if you go to your stargazers and you are going to fast travel, as you can see at the top, the game separates it into pretty much chapters. So we haven't done 4. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you where you get these. So also, another aspect is that what you'll learn is that you can switch around your weapon parts. You can switch around the handle and you can switch around the head of the weapon. So as you can see, I currently have equipped the big pipe wrench head and the fire axe handle. And I'll show you where to get that. So to get the fire axe handle and head, you will want to come here. This is where I am. I'm by the Stargazer at the Workshop Union Culvert. You get this early. You get here early in Chapter 3, and you would come up here. This is pretty much the main path you have to go. Now there's going to be a giant rolling flaming ball, and there's also going to be enemies around. So we want to be careful. That flaming ball will do a decent amount of damage, especially at the level you come at this. You're in this chapter. Most people aren't going to be too high level. But what we want to try to do is make it to the end of this tunnel. Oh, almost got hit there myself. But be careful, and this will come out of these hallways. So our goal, like I said, is to make it to the end of this path, and there's a hidden chest, and that is where the weapon is. Be careful, an enemy will pop out of the wall here. Just wait for this to come down again. So at the end of this tunnel, here's the chest, and that's where you would get the fire axe weapon, the head, and the shaft. So that's how we get that. Now, if I go all the way back down to the Stargazer, I'm just going to return to the Stargazer. I'll show you where we get the pipe wrench, which is at the end of this chapter, pretty much going into chapter 4. So we get it right at the end. So you do have to get through the chapter. So I'm going to fast travel. So this is the area we get the fire axe weapon early in the chapter. Now we're going to fast travel, and I'm going to fast travel to the last Stargazer in the chapter. This is the Stargazer you unlock right after beating the boss of the area. I won't spoil anything, but this is the boss room. So you get this Stargazer. And then from here, you want to move forward. This is how you move forward in the game. And we're going to get to the mines. Okay, I didn't think that fall was going to kill me. My bad on that. Just bear with me here. I want to show this instead of jumping around so people understand where to get these weapon parts. Okay, so we want to come down here. And this isn't too long of a path, but we pretty much have to go through these tunnels. And eventually we're going to have to go through a mine. So you only have one way to really go. You can't really mess this up. No, like I said, there's only one way to go, so you can't mess it up. But you'll know you're going the right way if you find the mine shaft and the mine carts. Okay, so this is the room we want to be in. Be careful, there's enemies around. Now we want to go across here. We want to be on the upper part. There is ladders, so you can get back up if you need to. Okay. And so we want to come up here, and here's going to be the chest that has the pipe wrench. Okay. So, that's where the pipe wrench is. And it's, like I said, it's also very close to the end of the chapter. This over here is the Stargazer that starts the next chapter, so we can go here. Now you can do this both back at the hotel, Crack, and you can do it at any Stargazer, but you can assemble and disassemble weapons. So once we have both those weapons, we can come over, and in your options you want to go to assemble weapon. Now I already have it assembled. Now this is what I mean that this is the best. I have every weapon that is possible to earn up to this point. And I have everything to +3. So there is no weapon I have that's higher level or anything. So this is the max possible stats you can have for these weapons right there. So when it comes to scaling and when it comes to the weapon level, this is the best we're going to get. So if we go across here, the heads, the pipe wrench we'll see does the most damage. Now changing your weapon, the head of it, will change both the Fable Arts, one of the Fable Arts, and then change the damage you do, and it also can change, you want to pay attention to the damage type, attack type. So, right now, we have my attack type is slash, and you can see the equal sign, so it does just regular slash damage. If we go over, the Great Sword of Fate does less damage. Same scaling of C in both nativity and technique, but it would do me less damage to switch, and my slash stays the same. Now, see, slash on the Windtree Rapier's blade, I do less damage. I also do less slash damage, so this weapon would be less effective. Again, weaker, I do all less damage. And then, so the only thing I do more damage in, as you can see in this weapon and this weapon head, is I would do more elemental damage. So these allow me to do like electric blitz and then fire attack. But I'm not making an advanced build, which is what increases that type of damage. And so you can also change the handle of your weapon. Now the handle will also change the Fable Arts on the bottom. So as you can see, now the bottom Fable Arts change. So if you're not so concerned with damage and you find a weapon handle or head that you like, and you like that Fable Art, you can switch it doing that. And the same thing, we can get a different attack. So see, for instance, my slash is still the same. If I did this, my slash is just minus, and then my stab is really low, goes down, and then my slash on this, and so your handle really determines also your move set. So, for instance, what I have it right now with the pipe wrench and the fire axe, my move set is different than if I attached uh, the the puppet saber or the salamander dagger. But as you can see, we still do less damage with every other possible weapon you can have up to this point. Fable Arts, everyone's gonna have their own favorites. I think the ones here are pretty. I have right now are pretty good, and yep. So as you can see, is the best damage. Also the highest. We have equal, but there's no guard uh, ability damage that is higher on any other selection of weapon. Now for the move set, which I can't say is the best. That's up to personal opinion. What I like about this with the pipe wrench, okay, also something else important, the handle also determines the length of your weapon. So as you can see with the pipe wrench and the fire axe, I have decent reach. I don't need to be so close to an enemy. And then so I have this move set. What I like about this weapon is the charged attack. I lunge forward, so I can back up. I don't need to be so close to an enemy, and then I can be out of the enemy's range and then lunge forward and attack them. I like the overhead swing. With the pipe wrench being such a heavy weapon, and it's easy enough to have enough weight capacity where you don't become heavy or anything. But with it being such a heavy weapon, it staggers enemies very easily. Up to this point, the pipe wrench is the best stagger weapon you can have because it's pretty much like having a great sword in pretty much any other Souls-like game. It staggers really good. And so what I'll show you is that our reach is pretty good. Now, a very similar, equal damage to this weapon, I think it's in handles, is the puppet saber handle. Now, if I equip this, right? If I equip this, I have much less reach. I have to be right up against my enemy. And also, my moveset is different. Now, that's what I'm saying. This handle, the puppet saber blade handle, it has the same damage and everything else. It's a little lighter, not that that really matters, but it has the same damage. So if you like this moveset better, that's personal opinion. But I like having more reach. Especially later in the game, there's harder enemies, AoE attacks, bosses. I think it's just a little better to have more range. But again, that's personal opinion. I can't say that's just better. But that is your options, and that's why I think that this is the best possible assembly you can have for early game. I think I've pretty much covered everything. Now, this might be different. I have to experiment more, but if you were to do like a balanced build and then also put points into your advance, there might be weapons in the future that scale with all three, and then that might do more damage in total. Again, that would take more experimenting, but as of early, between chapter 1 and 4, I believe that this is the best setup you can have for damage. Thanks for watching. I know this video was a little longer than it needed to be, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, bye.